Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast,
and Spotify.
All this is going viral.
And we back. We got the Red Zone Challenge this week.
NFC South, probably the safest conference to play in, as now news broke over the weekend. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now 100% vaccinated.
Yes, I heard that.
The Atlanta Falcons were the first team in the NFL to be 100% vaccinated. So I'm guessing, that herd immunity, even if the Saints and the Panthers don't get to 100%, that herd immunity will take over in the NFC South first and foremost, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Bill Belichick was talking earlier in the week about dropping Cam Newton, and somebody asked him, was it because Cam has decided not to get vaccinated? And he goes, no, not at all. He goes, as a matter of fact, most of the cases we have within the team right now are guys that are fully vaccinated, so it has nothing to do with that. He says there's a lot of guys on this team that are fully vaccinated that are dealing with the coronavirus right now that have it. And he says, no, that's not it at all. And of course, I just said 4 times as much as Bill Belichick did, but that's I was hoping to find it because, but that's what he said. I don't know if you heard that or not. That was kind of passing around sports news last week, but
I know that's the thing. I mean, even though the Bucs and it'll be interesting to see because now you have the Bucs and the Falcons 100% vaccinated. If members of their staff end up on the COVID list because they're still subject to testing, the NFL says regularly, how that news will leak.
Here we go. Here it is right here.
Did Cam's vaccination status have anything to do with him being released?
No. I would just point out that the number of players and coaches and staff members that have, been infected by COVID in this training camp who have been vaccinated is a pretty high number. So
there you go.
You said it's a high number even. I don't know, Bill. I would watch what you say.
It's getting a little loose with the lips there, Bill.
Yeah,
I never used to say that much.
No. Of all the times that you've held back your words, the one time that you decide to probably say a little too much is the one that's probably going to get you in trouble by the NFL. The NFL would love it if you spoke to matters that were football related, which you never do. But then when it becomes a health issue, you're like, oh, yeah, but you know what? We actually have a lot of people that have been vaccinated that are catching the coronavirus. Probably not the message that the NFL wants to be sending so they can play nice with the government powers that be. It's very interesting. But maybe more fantasy football karma coming your way as a result of the Bucs getting fully vaccinated, because that means Leonard Fournette's fully vaccinated.
Right now, Leonard's sitting on the bench. I've got a few better options, but I don't know, not really. I mean, I don't know. Here's my question for you in week 1. Do you start Leonard Fournette over Gus Edwards, since Gus is going to be stepping in for J.K. Dobbins?
No, because I don't see. The thing is, the Ravens are just decimated. You have actually 2 really good pieces of the Ravens. Mark Andrews, I think, is the only person to catch balls on that team right now. And the only person to run balls is Gus Edwards. I think, honestly, I know we're going to do our picks on Thursday, but I honestly think the Raiders are going to upset the Ravens in the first week. And it's because the Ravens are just decimated by injuries heading into the matchup with the Raiders.
Yeah.
And I think the Raiders are going to surprise the Ravens. I really do.
You got to play the Red Zone Challenge. You could win yourself a 50-inch flat screen TV and a soundbar from our friends at Coast Electronics. We're giving away $25 every week to the Poorhouse for our top points getter. Plus, you get to be our DJ of the week, meaning you get to pick your favorite band to play 4 times a day throughout the morning, afternoons, and evening time. And it's all brought to you by our friends at California RV Outlets and Fred Bruin. And what's his tagline, Jeff?
Real estate in real time.
Yeah, there you go.
Real estate in real time. You can check them out at fredbruin.com. Lots of tools there, free tools, for analyzing the market if you are in that situation. I know when we were buying our house, we used them as a resource quite a bit, just for, gauging where the market's at. A lot of people talk about, gotta wait till this market settles down. Do you? I don't know. Find out. FredBruin.com.
Good guy to know because he's got a great garden and he makes amazing pico de gallo.
None of that information's on FredBruin.com.
Yeah, no, that's a little different. That's an inside track right there.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
It's Jeff and Jeremy on KZOZ.com. Are you particular when it comes to drinking water? Like what kinds of water you drink? Do you drink different? I have a friend who's only drinks Dasani. He really likes Dasani. He thinks most other water sucks. And it's weird because I've stayed, we've stayed in the same house. We've rented houses together, and it's like I have different. I bring Kirkland water. He brings Dasani, and I just grabbed a water out of the fridge, not knowing that he was so particular. And he's like, "Hey, that's my water." I go, "Well, I brought water too." He goes, "No, I don't want that Kirkland crap." He goes, "What's wrong with Kirkland?" He goes, "It's okay, but Dasani's better. There's something they do." I'm like, "Really? Okay, I didn't realize that."
No, I wouldn't know the difference between Dasani and tap water.
What about? Do you ever drink tap water?
Yes.
Out of the sink.
Yes.
At your house.
Yes. I mean, not at my house.
Paso City water.
I don't have to because we have it runs through the refrigerator and you got the filter and all that stuff. But if I didn't have that, I would.
I drink. My water comes from Lake Lopez. We all do in the 5 cities, and I have a filter. Comes out of my fridge. Same type of deal, like most people. I was trying to think. I never drink tap water. When I was on vacation, I was up at my buddy's cabin up on the Snake River in Hell's Canyon. I mean, it's on a well. It's the best tap water I've ever had because it's out of a well. There's no hard. I know the water's a little bit hard, so there's some minerality to it, which gives it a little bit of flavor. But there's no chlorine. There's none of that weird stuff that I know. If I take it straight from the tap here in Slower at my house in Arroyo Grande, I'm gonna smell a little bit of that chlorine, and I can't drink water that smells like a pool. It's just too weird. And I know that's a little extreme, but man, when you can drink, I was like, I would drink a huge cup of it every day. I'd put ice in there, and then I'd fill it up with water, and I'd drink that whole thing. Of course, it was also going to be 110 that day, so I figured it's good to drink like 32 ounces of water, but I drink 32 ounces of
My
that
father-in-law's
every
water
day.
is the same way.
Love it.
My father-in-law has it rigged.
And he's out in the country. He's way up north in the northern part of California, off the grid.
He's got a refrigerator that's got a filter in it and all that water and all that stuff, but everybody in the house drinks the tap water because it tastes so much better than whatever's coming through the refrigerator. Interesting water note. 5 cities. When we lived there for 6 months, when we moved there, we bought a bunch of water because we didn't know what the water was like there. So we bought those big jugs of water.
Oh yeah,
for pretty much it was mainly for coffee, for making coffee. We made the coffee with the bottled water, and it tasted terrible. I don't know what it was, but the bottled water made the coffee taste really kind of sour.
Yeah.
We started using tap water. It tasted amazing.
Yeah, the tap water for I don't know. I agree. Now I do get my water from the fridge, so it does run through another filter. But it is the tap water.
Yeah,
and it's my. I come here and I make coffee, and I drink the same coffee pods, the Kirkland ones, and
we use filtered water here.
Way better there.
Yeah,
way better at home.
Is tap water better for coffee?
I think it is.
It must be because I feel the same way about the coffee here. The coffee here tastes a little bit different.
And we're using the nothing against it. I love drinking the Culligan. It comes out ice cold out of the tap.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great to drink on its own, but for making coffee, I don't know. We might need to switch over to the tap and see how that tastes.
Let's see. 69% of people in a study said they prefer bottled water to tap water, but who knows where they're testing that at? If you get good well water, there's nothing better. 32%, it's simply a shopping habit. Yeah, it's funny. I remember being a kid, and we drank out of the hose. We drank out of the tap. I mean,
there's no bottled water when we were kids.
Oh, you're fancy. Like, you remember somebody having bottled water. Like, oh, well, you're throwing money away on a bottle. I was like, I will never buy bottled
Evian.
Water.
Remember, it was just one brand. It was Evian, and you had to be rich to drink it.
Yeah.
Now everybody has bottled water.
Yeah, I know. We always have bottled water. I mean, unless I'm drinking it out of a filter or something like this. You can let us know how you like it. Anybody like it from the tap? 805-543-3693. You can text in on the 805 beer lines. Live the 805 lifestyle. Check out 805beer.com.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Hey, it's Jeff and Jeremy here. Always Tina going to be at the Kramer Estate Wines on Friday, September the 24th. The Ultimate Tina Turner Tribute Band. We have tickets to go. All you have to do is text the word Tina, T-I-N-A, to 805-903. 805-543-3693.
What was that other number that you were about to give out?
Oh, this is another radio station.
That's right. Double duties.
Yeah.
Recent survey sampled 1,448 public school parents. They asked them before July 27th if they wanted their children in a classroom full time. 58% of them said yes.
I'm surprised that number's not higher.
They've asked the parents recently if they wanted their children in a classroom, public school classroom, full time. And now that number is dropped down to 43%. The number's even lower when it comes to black parents who want their children to be in the classroom. That's 41%. And Hispanic parents say that only 37% of them want their children in school. But they would like them.
So what does that mean? White parents don't care about their kids as much as black parents and Hispanic parents?
No, they expressed a preference for online programs, especially the black and Hispanic parents.
Well, I mean, with the Delta variant, they're worried about that, and then making kids wear masks. I mean, a lot of parents are uncomfortable with. Well, you're a parent. I know your kids go to private school, so it's a little bit different. But do your kids have to wear masks? Is it optional?
No, they have to wear masks.
They do have to wear masks?
Uh-huh.
See, as long as you're making everybody wear masks, I don't think it's a big deal. But like, if you're just going to make the kids that are unvaccinated just wear masks, I mean, that puts a target right on those kids. That would have been terrible. It's already hard enough being a kid.
I got to say, even around here, like the last week has been kind of pleasant because there was a rule around here that said, okay, if you have been vaccinated, you don't have to wear the mask. And if you have been vaccinated, or if you haven't been vaccinated, that you do have to wear a mask. And now there's no questions. Everybody just goes about it. You know?
Oh, you're talking about here at our office?
Yeah.
In the radio
station. Yeah. There's no, I feel like there's no judging.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't know what people's health status are.
I don't know
around here, despite the fact that Seth has to ask everybody every 30 minutes whether or not they've been vaccinated.
He's very curious. He likes to catch up on his eggs.
I had no idea.
And his tacos, and he wants to know if you're vaccinated.
I don't know if he's training for a government job. I don't know what his deal is.
No, it's interesting. Before, when just the non-vaccinated people had to wear their masks, or if you were vaccinated, you still wanted to wear a mask, you still could.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I would look around and I'd see people come in with masks on. I'm like, oh, not vaccinated? Or are they just choosing to throw us all off their scent?
Well, and the thing is, maybe vaccinated, especially now, maybe vaccinated people that are catching COVID and in many cases, as we learned last week, ending up in the hospital with breakthrough cases to the tune of 15%. Maybe people are more comfortable wearing the mask. I kind of tend to think that the mask, based on studies that I've read, which there's not many studies out there, but doctors that have talked to the matter, right. Doctors, not experts, but doctors that have talked to the matter.
It can help a little.
They may
not be 100%.
But they've also said that, you know, if you were like standing next to somebody in a 3-foot proximity in a humid stairway for 4 hours, then it could help a little bit. That's okay.
Well, what is it, 6 minutes? Or no, it's 6 feet, 15 minutes, right? Is that what it is? I'm trying to think how long.
And I think they're erring on the side of
safety. If you're around somebody that has it and you're around them for 15 minutes or more, there's a good chance that you need to get tested.
I've talked to people that have shared food, that have shared the same utensils and shared food with somebody who then tested positive for COVID like the day after. And they were scared to death. And then they would test, and then they would test, and they would test. They would test for a week constantly after that, and they never caught it.
I know somebody who was sharing a marijuana cigarette with somebody else.
A joint?
Yes. And they did not have COVID.
Yeah.
Or did they get COVID?
Are you asking me?
No, that's just the end of my story. Sorry, I forgot what it was about.
Oh, I know who the person is that was smoking the J then.
No, but I mean, I know somebody who was smoking a joint with somebody who had COVID and then they didn't get COVID. I mean, that's crazy, right? Guess what? they weren't vaccinated, either one of them either, which
Really?
is really weird. So you just never know how this thing's going to go down. But I was reading if you get vaccinated and you do get COVID, your severe symptoms are going to be a lot less. That's due to a new study that they just put out. So I know you're on the fence. And I was thinking, well, you know what?
I don't know. You don't know what I am.
Well, you said that last week you were on the fence.
Yeah.
We were talking about, like, should you get it? Should you
I'm
not
no
get
longer
it?
discussing my status.
Oh, well, you don't have to. I'm discussing it for you. No, but I'm just saying, for people that are on the fence, how do you like that? They did say that if you get it and you get the infection, then, you know, their chances are, number one, you're not going to die. Number two, you're not going to go to the ICU. And number three, your symptoms might just be very, very minimal. Yeah, I guess.
You say you're not going to.
That's according to this study. that I
Right,
was reading.
yeah. But you know,
But everybody's different.
there's been data that suggests differently. And to say
Data or data?
data.
Okay.
And that's
Just a
just
data guy.
that's just to say that, you know, there have been cases of it. And the percentages are lower than the ones that have been unvaccinated, but they're also a little bit higher than I'd like to see.
So you
for,
started
for something called a vaccination.
Yeah, I know.
If you want to
And
call it a
I heard-
treatment,
I heard
if you want to call it a treatment,
Yeah,
then
I call it was something called, it wasn't called a treatment, a serum.
a serum.
What about
Oh,
a serum? But back to the kids, you know, with the Delta variant and everything that's going on, and now there's this new one called the Ma variant or something like that, which we don't know anything about yet, but it's the brand new one. I think it's come Peru or something, a Peruvian thing. They're calling it this thing, but whatever. I wonder if they're going to shut schools back down. It all depends on where the cases go, right?
I guess we have to
because
wait
you
and
watch
see.
the news and it's like, wow, this is the worst it's been. I'm like, really? It doesn't feel that way. Doesn't feel that way at all unless I watch the news.
I guess we'll have to wait for after September 14th to see what happens.
All right. So 57% Americans left vacation days unused this last year. What the hell? You do this all the time. I go into debt.
You do.
I go into debt.
How many
big time.
days off did you have to take without pay for the last vacation?
Well, I have an option. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this.
Oh, don't do
But-
it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
But
Just don't.
There has been times where I've gone into negative in the red and I have to work it back. And sometimes if that works, but this time I decided I didn't like doing that. I'd rather just go without because I made some extra money in July. So it worked out that I could take some days off when I ran out of my vacation, which is already almost 5 weeks. It's ridiculous. So, but I can't believe that people don't use their vacation. You have to use your vacation. It's the only thing that keeps you enjoyable to be around. Now, this year, I think you used most of your vacation because you took some trips and you were taking, you were doing things.
I still have a couple of weeks.
You still have a couple weeks?
Yeah, because the thing is, you said we get like 5 weeks of vacation, so it's just rolling over. So if I only take a couple weeks, and I'll usually take a week at Christmas time, a week to two in the
How did I
summertime.
run short? Because
you take mega vacations. You take like
just
2 to
weeks.
3 weeks.
No, it was just 2 weeks. I was gone 2 weeks. It's actually gone 13 days both times. In July, I took 13 days. And there weren't even 13 work days. They were just 13 days period. I worked on a Thursday, so I took the Friday off. I took that following week, and then I came back to work on the following Thursday.
So you're taking anywhere from 8 to 10 days of vacation.
I
vacation
did
time.
take some time. We went in the spring, and we went down to Mexico. And
But a
that
week
was
of vacation is only 5 days. It's not 7 days.
It's 40 hours. It's all based on hours.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I mean, I know some people get more, some people get less. Those state jobs are great. Like JW, dude, he's got you've got to ask him when he gets here. I don't know if he wants to talk about it, but he's been with the CHP for a long time. And when you work for the state, man, they just keep adding it up. I mean, I think Suzanne is another crazy one. Like we all get the same amount of vacation, but she never uses hers. But after a while, I don't know if they do this at every company, but our company, after a while,
force you, yeah.
they won't pay you any more vacation. So you have to use it or you're not going to get any more. You max out at so many hours.
Yeah, and I understand why companies do that, because you could have a situation where somebody's like, okay, I'm deciding to use all my vacation. They take 3 months off, and you're like, wait, you have responsibilities here. Hold up.
37% of people said they're afraid of taking vacation because it makes them appear that they're not as dedicated, or they're afraid they may be replaced. I remember in the beginning, I was a little bit worried about that. We have people that we work with here that we know that are very worried about using their vacation because they're afraid they're going to be replaced. It's like, wait a second. Well, then don't be replaceable. Make it so when you go on vacation, people miss you.
Crap hits the fan. I mean, like,
Yes, and like, God, I wish so-and-so
I gotta
was
be
here.
honest with you. When I get that oh crap call on vacation, I kind of feel a sense of security. I'm like, oh, I guess I am needed around the office. That's good. I'll get to that when I'm done with vacation.
Who calls you? I swear to God. Oh, well, you have other responsibilities
Yeah, I
here
do have
now
other
and
responsibilities.
marketing.
Yeah.
So I understand there. See that? Yeah. See, all you've done there is create a little bit more job security for yourself by taking on some more
Yeah,
responsibility.
they give me that call, and I'm like, oh, work's calling. Sometimes I'll take it. Sometimes I won't. When I won't, I'm just increasing my value. That's how I look at it. You got to watch Office Space, right?
Yes. You know what's great? That's a timeless movie. Until since this COVID thing, nobody has an office anymore. Everybody works from home.
That's true, I guess.
And that's where a lot of people are trying to take this
Oh,
way.
man, there's places that people used to work in called offices. What the heck?
80% of Americans said they would take more time off if their boss was more supportive. Like, how is your boss not supportive? Are you trying to say your boss is the owner of the company you work for, or are they just a mid-tier management guy?
We used to
Screw
have
that.
we used
Who
to
cares?
have we used to have windows in which we can only use our vacation. That's no longer the case.
Yeah, it's still frowned upon. I mean, we have ratings periods, So during those times, they really don't
we
want
did
us
get
to
an
take-
email earlier this year
Yeah, they
about
really don't want us to.
one of the ratings periods.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because people were starting to take it off, and it's like all the time I take off, and there is some time there, but it's all during a time that we're not in a ratings period, so nobody seems to have a problem with it. Yeah. So, anyways, you just kind of have to pick your poison, I guess. But you should use your vacation. You shouldn't worry about your middle management. What do they call that? Mid-level.
well, you
management?
just do whatever applies to you. You don't give
You
people
show up,
advice
you
based
work
on
hard,
your situation.
You're dependable, and you want to take some time off. Good for you. You should do it.
You're Mr. Vacation. Like, you burn it, man.
Woohoo!
You burn it like you burn money. It burns a hole in your pocket.
Yeah.
You're like
Mr. Vacation.
I got money. Let's go get a boat. Let's go get some more clothes from Costco. Let's go get some fire pits and some generators and some.
I don't have a fire pit.
What all do you have though?
I have a
that you
generator
don't
just
need?
like you have a generator.
Yeah, but you talk nonstop
Everything
about
I have, I use.
getting the $5,000 end of times generator.
Oh, well, one day when I buy a house or build a house or whatever I end up doing.
You think I'm dumb for
gonna
not
get
having a Generac?
I'm going to get a Generac. If I was you, I'd be looking into Generac.
I don't got that much space in my yard.
They're very small now, and they run on propane, which is nice, or gas, natural gas.
Unless you don't have propane.
Natural gas. Do you have natural gas at your house?
Yes.
Okay, then you're in. That's it. That's all it takes.
But am I going to need it ever?
If the power goes out, they wire it in now to where within seconds of the power going out, your whole house comes back alive. That means you got TV, you got Wi-Fi, you got all the important stuff. Your fridge keeps
You have
going.
Wi-Fi if the power goes out? Isn't the people that are generating the Wi-Fi, don't they need power?
What you mean? It depends on how you get your
Through
internet.
cable.
Yeah, then your cable's fine. Your cable never goes out when a power outage happens.
What if they don't have the power at the place where they're supplying the cable?
Well, then I guess you have a problem. Maybe you should go to satellite.
Yeah.
My point is you should be independent. You shouldn't have to rely on others. That's how you win.
should live
That's how you
independently.
win in an apocalypse.
Well, wouldn't I be?
And I'm working on it.
Wouldn't I be like
I'm not quite
in
a
the woods in
doomsday
a cabin?
prepper.
if
I'm not
that's
quite a
space?
doomsday prepper yet.
Wouldn't I
but
have
I'm
my
working on
garden
it.
growing somewhere in the Los Padres?
You better not come to my house.